All right, I just wanted to take a minute and show any new teachers or teachers that haven't used Zipgrade before how to use Zipgrade. I've got the written instructions that I'm sending you, but this will really cut down on how long it takes you to grade papers. I mean, they're basically graded instantly. It gives you a lot of information about questions and item analysis and what questions were good questions, maybe, and what questions either you need to go back and reteach or that you didn't cover, or maybe it was just a bad question. Maybe just the way that it was asked was not a good question. So please remember that any test that you give, as long as your class average is 83, then that is considered a valid test. I know for those of us that teach Foundations of Health Science, you probably have a much higher average than that since it's an intro class. But as you get further on, like into medical terminology, or you get into human body structures and functions and those things, just keep in mind that a 83 is considered a valid test. And I'm going to move in here since we have some students coming in. This is my planning period. So, all right, so go to zipgrade.com and then you will need to set up an account. All right, so you can log in once you've got that account set up. Now, I have a paid account, so I have a subscription. It's $6.99 for an entire year, but you don't have to have a subscription because you can do 100 scans a month for free. So why don't you give it a shot, see how many scans you end up actually using, and then go from there. So once you have your account set up, the first thing that I do, and this is what's on the instructions, I'm going to pull it up so I actually follow them, is I go to students. And so my students are already in here, but your students, wouldn't be in here. So you just would, so I'm going to, add a new student, and I'll just add myself. So it populates the student ID. You don't have to make that up. It comes up with it on its own. And so I'm just going to put myself in, Elaine Price. Now, I've already got my classes set up, but that's when you're first starting out, that's going to be the second step that you would do, okay? You could do it first, but I like to put the students in first, okay? So once you have all of your students in, however many, students you have, then you're going to go to classes. And this is where you're going to add your classes. So, like for instance, I have Foundations of Health. We have blocks. They're called A, B, and C. So I put those in there. One time I just wanted to have one particular class to look at the medical terminology when we did a county competition. So you just go up here, add a new class. And like for this one, we'll just call this test. Save class. All right, so then from this screen, you're going to find the class that you want. So for us, we're going to do test. This was just our example. You're going to click on the icon that says Edit Student Roster. All right, and so now these are all my students that I've got listed, all the students that I have in Zipgrade. And so I'm going to go down and find the student that I want to put in this test class, which is me, and then I would save the roster. So like I have all my students saved in different, in the classes that they're in, okay? All right, so now I've got that set up, all right? So now you should probably be down to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th bullet point. All right, so once you've got your classes set up, you can always print any type of answer sheet, okay? You can print these that are already set up, like a 20-sheet, 20-question form. Like you can just click on that it pulls it up, it shows you what it looks like. The kids are going to put their name on there, and you can do it just like that. And then you can still grade them the same. It just doesn't necessarily save that information. It doesn't save the information the way it does if you make a custom answer sheet. All right, you can also, let's see, there's the 20 question PDF, 50 question PDF. So let's say we wanted 50 questions. Now, right here, this gives you a place to put the student Zipgrade ID, okay? So, but this requires the students to have to remember what that Zipgrade ID is, okay? And that was, the Zipgrade ID is what the computer gave them when you put them under students, all right? So you can use this, it's totally fine. It makes a picture of it so you can go back and like when you're looking and see like whose name is on it. But this is still, to me, not the easiest way to use Zipgrade, okay? So I'm going to go back out of this. So what I love about this is you can scroll down to the bottom and create a custom answer sheet wizard, right? So I'm going to click on that. And so these are all the answer sheets that I've made throughout the years, okay? And so then you can go back and use them over and over and over. So for the video purposes, I'm going to click on New Answer Sheet. And I was helping my mentee make this the other day, so we'll just go with the test that she was using. So at this point, you know, you would have your test made out. So let's say that this, you're going to name your sheet. So history of healthcare test. All right, now you're going to go to next. All right, now it gives you all these things. You know, do you want the student's name to be on the answer sheet? Do you want the name of the quiz? Do you want the class? You can put other things on here if you want to, like, you know, first try or whatever. I just go with the defaults. So when I print my answer sheets, it's going to give me the name, the student's name is going to be on it, the name of the quiz is going to be on it, and the class that they're in is going to be on it. All right, so number of student ID digits, I just leave all of this with the default and click next. All right, now this is where you're going to put, where you define your questions, okay? So for this particular test, it had, I believe it had 6, but you know, you would just look at whatever test you're using. It had 6 true false, so I can put 6 true false, and I can actually change that to say T and F, and it'll print it off. I'm looking at the one that I'm giving you like the example on the written instructions. So let's see, it says that there's 10 true false, so let me go back and make that 10 true false, okay, and then add questions. All right, and it's going to show you, it's going to give you a preview of what this looks like, okay? So now we know we need to add some more questions because this was a 50 question test. So questions 1 through 10 were true, false. Now let's say that questions, then you had 40 multiple choice. Well, let's make it 30 multiple choice. Now, you can change your answer labels. Do you have, how many options do you have? A, B, C, or D? Then we're going to click Add Questions. And it's going to think about it for a minute, but then it will show us, okay, now here's what our test looks like. So now we have 40 questions total. We had 10 true, false. Then we had 40 multiple choice, okay? Let's say we messed up and we were like, oh no, wait, I only have 20 multiple choice. So you could go back and just click, you know, the ones that you wanted to take off. So let's go back. We're going to take all these off, and then we just click Remove Selected. Okay, so now we can look at our answer sheet and we see, okay, I've got 30 questions total, 10 true, false, and I've got 30 multiple choice, A, B, C, D, E. All right, but I need to add some more because it's a 40 question test. Okay, so now I'm going to add in, I've got 10 matching. So I got 10 matching. And so you can add the letters in here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Is that 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so you can add up to 10 letters, and you're going to add questions. So you could do your up to 10 matching choices at a time. If you wanted to have an all matching test, you just have to put them in groups because it's only going to go up to J. So now you've got your answer sheet. It gives you your 10 true false. It gives you your 20 multiple choice, A, B, C, and D, and then it's got your 10 matching. I do tell my students, because this is a lot of bubbles, I do tell them, just to double check that matching part, okay? So, all right, so now this is our test. We double checked it, made sure we got everything on there that we need to have. So we're going to click publish, and it gives you this warning. Are you sure you want to publish this form? Once it's published, no further changes can be made to this custom form. Well, let's say you messed it all up and you realize it after you publish it. You can just go back and delete it and do it again. So we're going to say okay. All right, so now this sheet is in here. So how do we print this for our class? Because we're having this test today, so how would we print this for our class with our students' names and everything? Now you can, again, this test is, this is saved. So let me go down here and find it. This is this is the one we just made, History of Healthcare, 40 questions. All I've got to do is click on this PDF, and it'll download it, and it'll give me the answer sheet with no name, no quiz. The students would have to bubble themselves in. So, I mean, it just doesn't have the student's name. It does have the History of Healthcare test. So you could print it just like that. But again, my favorite thing about this is, let me make this a little bit bigger, is going to my classes, all right? So we're going to do this with our test class, all right? And up here it says answer sheet packets. So my test class, I'm going to click on this, and it shows me all the different, because I've been using this for several years, all the different answer sheets that I've created. And so here's the new one that I made, History of Healthcare test. I've got, a couple, but this is the newest one. Now you see these numbers on here, but let's just say I clicked on this one. It's going to pull it up, and it's going to have my name on it. It's going to have my class, which this was test class, History of Healthcare. And then I can say, oh no, wait, this one only has 18 questions. So no, this isn't the one that I wanted. So I'm going to close that out, go back, click on this one. It pulls it up. Now it's got my name. It's got the class I'm in, which was test class. It's got the quiz name. And then it's got all these questions. And so I could just hit print, and I would have this ready to hand out to my students. So let me show you how it looks when you actually use it for a real class. So we'll just go with this class, 13 students, and we'll pick this test, cardiovascular diseases and disorders. It downloads this pack of answer sheets, and now all of my students, here's their answer sheet for that particular quiz. Okay? All right, so you print those off and your students take the test. All right, now how do you grade them? I grade them from, you can come over here to quizzes. I actually, this is where you're going to need the app, and I'll do a different video for how to do that. But you can, let's look at vital signs test. Pull that up. And then it shows you, quiz details, edit, shows you all these things. You can edit the answer key from here. The answer, I've already edited these answer keys, but I'll show you how to do that on the next video, because it's really easier to do this part to edit your keys and grade your papers from the app. All right, so I hope that's helpful. And if not, then let me know.